So when you first start working out, there's loads of different methods that you find online as to the best way to work out, whether to train for weightlifting, to train for strength, to train for aesthetics. But I believe that for most people, when you first start working out, the best way to train is for aesthetics, and let me tell you why. So first of all, when you're training for aesthetics like me right now, it's fairly easy to go multiple times per week. Like I'm able to go right now like 6 times per week. And that's because, when you first start working out and you have like DOMS, that's due to your muscles not being able to lift the weight. But after like a few weeks of you pushing through the pain, you're able to slowly start to lift that weight. And at that point, that's when you normally like increase the weight and keep going and keep causing some more muscle hypertrophy. But for me, for example, 6 months into my journey, I stopped increasing the weight, and that's just because I reached a point where I was happy with the way I looked, and me trying to push further to try and lift heavier just for my goals, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I kind of stopped there and then just focused on like maintaining my weight, maintaining like my lean muscle that I had built up over like the few months that I've been working out. And I think like that's probably the best method for like most people. Now of course this may offend a few people that are into like lifting and like trying to see how much they can lift and rep, but for this video where it's more tailored to aesthetics, which I believe most people, when you first start working out, it's to look better. It's not really to see how much that you can lift. Eventually that's something that you could work into. I think initially it's just to improve the way you feel, improve the way you want your body to look, the way you want your body to look in different types of clothes. So I think like that's probably like the best way for the majority of people. So again, strength trains 2 to 3 times per week. I believe like this is very easy to work up to, and it's a lot easier to maintain if you have like a full-time job, if you're in uni full-time. Eventually, if you want to, then you can increase to 4 or 5, but don't jump into like 5-6 times a week, because most people can't handle that. Fair enough, if you're coming from like a sports background or if you're used to working out, then you could maybe just start off with like 4 or 5 times a week, 6 times a week. It's very vital as well to make sure to take proper rest days, to sleep well and to eat well. So moving on into the next part, to eating. What are you eating? What is your diet? Are you having like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight? Are you making sure to, limit the amount of like fats, processed foods, like carb heavy foods? Are you eating more like whole grain carbs, like maybe like oats, rice, brown rice, and maybe less of like pastas or like pizzas, white bread, for example? This is a whole topic and like a whole video by itself. So maybe in the future, if that's something that you're into, I can talk about more on like the food side when it comes to lifting for, or like working out for aesthetics. But for this video is just like a general overview. Okay, are you going to bulk or cuts? So I'll try and show some videos or pictures of how I used to look before, but basically I was very overweight. I'm around like 5'11", 6 foot. I was at one point 113 kg, so you can convert that into pounds, but eventually I worked it down to like 90 kg, which is where I am right now. I am still trying to cut a bit more, but I'm fairly happy with the way I look, so I'm not too fussed about that. But I am trying to see like how lean I can get, that it's still easy to maintain. Well, like not easy to maintain, but it's still manageable to maintain. I'm not aiming for like single digit body fat, because of course that would be very hard to maintain year round. But the way I am now, I'm very happy. I work out like 6 times a week. I eat fairly clean. I do enjoy some nice meals here and there. When it comes to like tracking calories, I can stop if I want to. I've done it for like a few weeks and my weight didn't change. Like I still look the same. I still like have like a rough idea now of like the calories or macros for any food I eat. So just to go slightly off topic, when you're working out and you're tracking your calories, eventually there is a finish line. There is a point where you'll be comfortable with the way you look, you'll be comfortable with the foods that you eat, and you have a rough idea as to how much calories and proteins and fats and carbs are in the different types of foods that you eat. Okay, so if you're trying to lose weight, how can you do this? So there's easy ways now. So incorporate steps. So how many steps are you taking? Are you taking like 10k steps per day? Are you like using the bus or using transport when you could cycle? There's different ways that you can, just start to increase the amount of physical activity that you do per day. I think it's recommended to do like at least 15 minutes or 150 minutes of exercise per week. But, that's quite manageable. If you can go to the gym 2 to 3 times per week and do some 30 to 40 minutes of strength training, if you can get 10k steps per day, or maybe even like find some time to do like a sport that you like, or to have your friends come and go on like cycles with you. There's loads of easy ways around just being more active and to get your body moving, or even if you could stand more if you can during your work, or to walk around, to use the stairs more, to use the lifts or the escalators less. There's different ways that you can work around just trying to increase your physical activity. If you're bulking, I guess this is a lot easier, because with bulking, it's more about, I guess there's dirty bulking and clean bulking. Of course, I've never bulked myself, but I guess I was fat, so I guess I've kind of bulked. But with bulking, the main thing that I would say with that is try and clean bulk, okay? So most people overestimate how much calories they actually need to eat to bulk. Go on to mycaloricalculator.net, find out your rough maintenance calories, increase that by 200 to 300, weigh yourself, use Happy Scale to track your weight, then just try and increase the calories by 200 to 300. It's really not that much. If that's not working, increase it by 200 to 300 more, and just keep going week by week. When you reach a plateau, that's when like you should up the calories a tiny bit more, but still make sure that you're lifting heavy. When it comes to bulking, make sure to lift heavy so you can cause that muscle hypertrophy, and to make sure that you're actually, you know, building lean, clean muscle. Of course, you will inevitably build fat as well. There's no real way to bulk and not to have at least some type of fat, but you know, eventually when you cut down, hopefully you'll be able to maintain a good amounts of that muscle mass. But again, so bulk cleanly, bulk with stuff like oats, maybe having some extra rice, extra potatoes, extra chicken, not even extra chicken, as long as you're having a gram of protein per pound of body weight, then you can really just increase the calories from like carbs or maybe some fats when it comes to your bulking diet, and then after do the reverse. So drop it by 200 to 300 calories below like your maintenance that you've calculated on mycaloricalculator.net. When you reach a plateau, then either, you know, drop the calories again by 200 to 300, or just increase the amount of cardio that you're doing. So maybe start off with like maybe 15 minutes of like the bicycle or the treadmill, incline walk, or maybe some light jogging, the rowing machine, and then just build that up. And then if you plateau again, then increase the cardio or decrease the calories, just, you know, step by step. Again, if you want a separate video on this, then let me know and I can be sure to bring that out. And when it comes to cutting, it's literally just the same thing. Lift heavy, try and limit the amount of cardio that you do, because if you're losing weight without doing cardio around the first few weeks to months, then that's fine. Save cardio for when you start to see your weight loss, you know, then you can start to increase your cardio, you know, by doing some more walking, by doing some more treadmill, bicycle, the rowing machine, just different ways to again get that weight loss going back down again. Okay, but again, I can make a different video on that if that's something that you're into. Lift moderate to heavy weights, and eventually after maybe like 4 to 6 months, once you've reached your goal, or even before you reach your goal, then you can decide whether to maintain the weight that you have and to just keep lifting, or to try and keep lifting heavier and heavier and heavier each week. You know, that's where like you reach like the breaking points between, you know, going further and trying to see how big that you can get, or how much weight that you're able to lift, or you can just do what I did and just lift to maintain your muscle, and to just lift more for aesthetics, which I believe is a lot more, like, I guess, easier to manage, and it puts less strain on your muscles, and also I guess it decreases your chance of injury, because even like right now, I've never really had any serious injuries. I lift like 6 times a week. I guess like the weight I lift now, I don't really feel DOMS, which I know some people will say is bad because I should be lifting heavier to experience DOMS. But again, I'm very happy with the way I look. I'm happy with the muscle I've built, and I'm not really trying to get any bigger. So that's it for me. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please let me know. Again, I can try and cover more topics in depth. I don't want to make this video too long. It's just a quick run through of different things that I did to lift for aesthetics. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below to let me know how I can improve and get better for next time. And yeah, see you.